I can't tell you.
He's a tech-savvy guy, gonna show you the way. You better load your bags, cause crypto's here to stay. Listen up, gonna teach you about this and that. But he's just a goofy guy in a straw hat. So join in and have a laugh. It's gonna be a good time, that's a fact. Information and crypto parodies. Sit back and enjoy the show. You just never know which way you'll go. Get ready for Digitspin Crypto.
Hey guys, it's Dino, Digitspin Crypto. Now make sure you're hearing me good on the screen there, or through your screen actually, because you actually don't hear me on the screen. But I just want to make sure that everything's going good. The transmissions are all clean, and we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. Now, you're watching Digitspin Crypto. I like to think it's a very fun and exciting show, and we talk about all sorts of stuff. Tonight we're going to talk about Electroneum and how I took a look at CoinGecko, and there's now 17.8 billion coins. Yesterday there was 10 billion or 11 billion circulating supply. Today there's 17.8 billion Electroneum in the circulating supply out of a total of 21 billion. What does that mean? How did that happen? Well, we're going to talk about that tonight. Now, first of all, also remember, I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a goofy guy in a straw hat. So don't pretend that I am, okay? I'm glad to see a few guys out there. We got Phoenix, Duncan, Spark of Freedom, Mehmet is out there. Federico, Logan Evans out there. Hey, my buddy. How you doing, friend? And Blazy, I see you guys out there. And there's a whole bunch of others lurking and just watching and not typing in the chat. So that's okay. Feel free to obviously toss in your thoughts in the chat as long as they're respectable to others. Now, let's, I want to go over a couple things. I want to go over the Electroneum circulating supply. We're going to take a look at the charts on Bitcoin. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents regarding that. We're going to take a look at the Electroneum charts, see where that's heading. And if you guys have a few questions, I'll answer them at the end. I'll turn it over to you guys and try to answer your most pertinent conundrums that you may have sequestered in your brain. So we'll see how that turns out, and we'll go forward from there. So let's take a look. So I was taking a look on the circulating supply. Let's move this over a little bit, and to my astonishment and surprise, the Electroneum, the circulating supply is now 17.838 billion coins. Now, how did that happen and why? I don't know. But what I can tell you, I mean, I don't have all the details. I don't work for Electroneum, so God knows what they're doing, and what spurred this on to update this. And but I'm going to give you my 2 cents, tell you what I think about it, and what it could mean to the price of Electroneum, or does it mean anything? All right. So as we know, there's 21 billion total Electroneum that can be produced, and those how it works is the blockchain, as it's trudging along, generates brand new and mints brand new coins, every 2 minutes to give to the miners. And that process of minting brings into existence the coins. You can look at it like quantum physics. It doesn't exist until the quark pops up out of nowhere and enters our universe, and that's basically it. The coins are basically locked in the mathematics. It's locked into the blockchain, and when those mathematics say so, it releases, it pops them out, makes them available, pays out the miners for doing the accounting work, basically on the Electroneum network, and that's basically for all the coins. So when we take a look at what a circulating supply is, a circulating supply is how many coins have been generated and are freely available on the network. If a coin can be sold, transferred, or held in a wallet, it's alive. It exists. All right. It's popped into our universe, and it truly exists. All right. So a lot of the projects, sometimes in the beginning, they'll pre-mine coins, and then maybe they'll stuff them in a little bag, mark on it, don't open till Christmas, or whatever the situation may be. And those coins exist, whether or not they're under lock and key, held, by King Kong, and nobody's going to get a hold of them, is irrelevant. They exist, okay? And the balance, which would be between the 7.8 and the 21 billion, are coins that don't exist yet. They will, and those are considered uncirculating supply. They also have something called an available supply. You'll see that on some projects, the circulating supply. So in this case, that could be something that might be added going forward for Electroneum. Now, there was 10 billion, 10.1 billion. There were 6 billion coins that were minted, or 7 billion coins that were minted and held in trust, originally to give to the mobile miners, and then now they're being used to promote the Electroneum environment. Basically, they're for the community in some way. To promote Electroneum, to pay out mobile miners for those that still exist in some certain countries, or whatever marketing deal that they have going on, to give to the community, to get them activated, get them using the coins. So they were basically under lock and key, but they were never counted. Originally, they were being dispensed out to mobile miners, but as we know, that process has stopped. Those coins still exist. They're in a wallet. They exist. All right, but they were never counted prior. So those coins have now been accounted for, and this is what has made this dramatic change to account for all the coins that are in existence. The difference between the 17.8 and the 21 billion are coins that don't exist yet. They're still, quote, locked in the blockchain. They're still yet to have the math manufacture them, whatever you want to call it. They don't exist yet. Okay, so what does that do for us? So now we see that they actually are accounting for that. What does that change? Well, what it does change is something called market cap. So the market cap is basically the price per coin. All right, up here you'll see the 0.012799630, but it's really only 2 decimals for Electroneum. The 0.12 times the circulating supply, and that gives us a market cap. So yesterday our market cap was maybe 90 or 100, maybe it was 120 million dollars. Okay, today it's $227.5 million. All right, so it doesn't change the price itself, all right, but it does increase the market cap. And if we take a look at the homepage for CoinGecko, which I happen to be on at the moment, one thing that they do is that they sort the coins by, you guessed it, market cap. Exactly, right. So this takes Electroneum basically upwards onto the rankings list. If we go to look, on this first page, you're dealing with billion-dollar coins. We're into the 500, 450 million dollar coins. So this puts Electroneum basically, let's go down 200, it should be right around here somewhere. All right, at position 137, I'll put this above my head. It puts Electroneum at position 137, where it would normally have been ranked, like 225 on the listing, without accounting for all of the coins. So finally Electroneum got it together, and this seems to be industry standard. If the coin exists, if it's been minted through a pre-mine or through mining of some type, and it exists, it sits in a wallet, somebody's wallet, it's under lock and key, it may not be going anywhere, it may not be sold, but it exists. If it exists, it's in the circulating supply, because truth is, it can move. Anything could happen with it. It exists. It's on the blockchain there. It's tracked. And if it's on the blockchain, it can be moved. All right. Now, Electroneum has some good safeguards to keep the coin safe, and has a plan of less than I think it's 1% of the coin. I think it's 1% emissions that are being generated, and 1% that will come from the pre-mined coins for the community. All right, so this does kind of help Electroneum in the grand scheme of things. Kind of gets it closer to where the coin should be in retrospect to the other coins, because everybody's kind of marks the circulating supply as such. If it exists, it's in circulation. If it hasn't been mined yet, it's not. And so Electroneum, I think, was doing itself an injustice by not accommodating or accounting that. And I, for one, am kind of glad that they're reporting based on industry standards. If it exists, it's circulating, and puts Electroneum back up to where it should be in the rankings versus market cap. And as you can see, there's a lot of coins in that 200 range. You get up to 300, you start moving up pretty dramatically. But you got to get to 500 million, 450 to get onto page 1, it appears, which is not out of the question. We've been, coin 40 or I think we got as high as 40 at one point, which would have been significantly higher if the ranking was accounting for these. So that's basically what that's all about. Doesn't affect your coins, doesn't change the price, just kind of gets it up on the list, and it accounts for the coins that are in existence. All right. All right, so let's take a look. I know you guys are probably pretty curious why. Now I was curious to see what you guys thought about this. There was a lot of people going, "Ooh, what's this all about? What happened? Where did these coins come from? Did they just get minted, or they just made, or they?" And the people asking me lots of questions they didn't understand. Who's got 7 billion coins all of a sudden? They already were there. They already existed. They were just being accounted for. But I did put a poll out there, which was kind of interesting. And I said, okay, now, why at this time... why now, at this point in time, is the circulating supply being updated? And I'm not sure if you guys can see this because it's not very big on the screen. I had to do a snapshot from my cell phone because I couldn't get into the Telegram, but this was on the Telegram channel. So as of about 10 minutes ago, this was an anonymous poll on there. So the first one is, don't be a dork. They update these things and it's just a coincidence. We had 13% of the people say it's just, hey, it just happens, and they update it. The second one was asked to do a yearly update by CoinGecko. 4% of the people think that it was, the yearly update, which I think is a good percentage, because I don't think that they actually go out there and ask you. It's up to each project to report their circulating supply. So I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, that any of the market cap sites put a request out to any of the projects. I don't think they would even know who to reach. Who are they going to contact? They don't know, right off the bat. So it's up to the project to say, hey, that number's wrong, and we got to fix that. So I think that's a good point there. This one here, number 3, a new USA exchange was asking questions about supply prior to the listing and wants an update. So this one I thought was interesting. We had 50% of the people thought it was just, unlike question 1 where it's don't be a dork, it's just a coincidence. People in this one that answered, half the people that voted said it's too much of a coincidence. There's probably something stirring, and they were asking about the circulating supply. Gave them feedback and said, well, you really should count these, and the Electroneum said, yeah, that's a good idea, let's do that, and went back and had all the other exchanges change it. And I personally think that's a plausible possibility. Sometimes there is, smarts in the in the public. When you get people together, usually they come up with the right answer as a whole. But who knows? I don't. But it is interesting to think that you guys think it's more than half of you think it's because of the exchange, the USA exchanges, coming up at some point. Number 4 seemed like a good idea to show the actual value, the actual market cap value, so that Electroneum just wanted to get it updated themselves. Almost 10%. 7% of the people said it doesn't matter to me, don't care. And 17% of the people think it's something else. Unfortunately, I have no way to tell what that something else is. It's some cockamamie idea, I'm sure. Because I think I hit them all, but I'd be curious to see what something other it would be. Feel free to jump on my Telegram channel and tell me if you've got a good theory and you think it's solid. It's not some crazy conspiracy bullshit. If you think you got a good solid theory, on why right now this got updated. And clearly, I've seen Electroneum updated twice since I've been following them. That doesn't mean they haven't updated it more. I've only noticed where it was dramatically different twice. So, talking with the guys on Telegram, it's, clearly something happened that made them go back and say, hey, we need to fix that. And whether it was somebody raised their hand and says, I don't think we're measuring this right, we need to fix that, or something outside of their company suggested for them to do that, something caused them to update the change. And I guess we'll never know, but it is fascinating to see what you guys think caused the update. It's always fun to read the polls and what people think did that. So that's kind of exciting to me. We're going to get to the chat in a few moments. Let's take a look at we're going to look at the charts and everything. Let's take a look. This here kind of interested me. I was just poking onto Cointelegraph, and 7 minutes ago. You're gonna see this on the crypto channels. All those big guys that try to sell you coins. Try to pump some coins, get paid to do that. We'll start talking about this tomorrow because survey finds 5% of the corporate CFOs plan to buy Bitcoin. More than 70% of the financial executives surveyed are closely watching what's going on with Bitcoin, and 5% plan to buy. And I think there was 1,200. There was a significant amount of companies. You could be looking at 50 to 100 companies looking to invest some of their financial assets, their reserves, into Bitcoin. So I think that $100,000 Bitcoin is very conservative, especially that we had the opportunity to hit 50,000 just last night. But in my personal opinion, we're going to have a pullback real soon, just a little, but we're going to go flat or pull back. But I'll show you why I'm thinking that in the charts in a few seconds. Obviously, NFTs have been real hot and big. I love this one here. Goldbug Peter Schiff gives Bitcoin permission to hit 100,000. This guy's a jackass. The official contrarian, does whatever he can just to. I think he just likes the attention of being wrong. Some people go, I told you. And there was something else here that made me laugh. I know it's here, but I don't see it right off the top of my head. Okay. Well, we'll move on to the next thing. Let's squeeze that down, and let's take a look at the charts. I see you guys out there. We've got a decent amount of folks there watching. Let's we got Mr. Eastwood's out there. It's good to see you. Better days ahead. Still out there. Michael's out there from Varus. He's got his little Varus icon going on. That's good stuff. Appreciate you guys visiting the show. Now, let's take a look at the Bitcoin, and then we're going to take a look at Electroneum. All right. Now, let me tell you what I'm thinking with Bitcoin here. If we take a quick look, all these guys are telling you to buy in. Clearly, Bitcoin has been fluctuating very clearly with the price, with the sales and purchase pressure that's being applied on the MACD. You can see it following it very closely, and you can tell that Bitcoin is in this channel. I have it broken up. Let's go back to like a 4 hour so we can see this a little better. It's been following this channel, and what has amazed me is that we're in a negative territory on buying pressure. We're also on a downward trend with the moving average, a few times trying to do a golden cross and cross back over, and at the same time it's still gathering momentum in an upward direction. Okay, if this was going the opposite way, this thing would be ballistically shooting up. All right, and it's only because we're in a downward moving average trend and pressure that we're still selling up. And this is basically coming down to there's less and less coins being available on the markets, and what is available, people are just asking more and more for, waiting for that magic number. A lot of people also are seeing this oscillation. These guys are traders, they know this, they see it oscillate down and comes back up, hits back down. You have a channel being formed. At this point here, they're coming down here, they're waiting for it to hit the bottom of the channel, they buy up. If you're buying up at 46,000 and then it comes up here, you hit 50,000, 4 hours later, so you're looking at 4, 8, 16, 30. So, within 2 days, you turn around and you sell it and you made yourself $4,000 in 2 days. That's $2,000 a day. All right. They either keep it in Bitcoin or cash it out and buy themselves whatever they need, pay for their mortgage or what have you, do what traders do. And they could be trading more than just a Bitcoin. That's per Bitcoin. They could be making 4,000. So these guys are smart. They keep an eye on us. They have these screens open all the time. I do keep mine open all the time, but I kind of just follow through and take a look and see what's going on. Here's what bothers me about this here. And the reason why I'm telling you to be very, very cautious, everybody's going, it's going to pump, it's going to pump. And as soon as this moving average starts to hit the bottom and we get this cross, which we're starting to see now, this 4 hour cross right here, it looks like it could cross over. It's not confirmed as of yet, but it has gone green. This is going to clearly, we're going to see some action. I think we're going to see another leg up over that 50,000 and probably hit this 51, 52,000. It's a good chance it's going to break out of this channel. Okay, what I want you to be advised of is that if you take a look at the daily, just keep your mind that we are coming around, and this downward selling pressure here, I have a feeling this is going to oscillate and it's going to come back up. I have a feeling this is not going to go into the red. I'm waiting for this death cross here to happen. When this happens, Bitcoin is going to drop significantly, 25%. And we're at a point where it should. If you take a look, it's at a significant height value where it has exceeded what the all-time high in the past, which got it into the 40,000. All right, so this kind of worries me. If this should cross over, this is going to drop, and we're going to lose 15,000. So you're going to be looking at look at prices, in the $40,000, $42,000 range. If this should fall back down, so keep an eye on this. It's got to come down. It's at its peak, and at some point, see how you had this pop up top here. We may get this roundabout. We may get a little bubble pop, and then it's going to fall down. This is going to come down, and it could be as soon as 1, 2, 3, 4, within 5 days, somewhere between 3 to 5 days. You'll really want to start paying attention to see if where it's going, to see if you get a little bubble top. If we get a little bubble top, that can get us into next week, 5 days or so from now. And then when this goes negative, You can see here we had, the prices. We lost a significant amount. We went from 43 down to 28,000. So it was a big chunk of change. It will recover even when this comes back down, hits that 40, maybe even to the high 30s. But I'm thinking somewhere between 40, 42. It's going to come back down here. All right. If you take a look at our moving average, and all right, and we go out about 5 days, this moving average line is going to be somewhere out about here, okay, give or take. So we're looking at 44, 45 as a return, a minimum for it to come back down to hit to, and we could see it go back down to $42,000. So keep that in mind. I'm gonna wait to see how high this can reach, and if I start to see it putter out, and I see that, if I see this daily crossover, I'm gonna sell a little bit of Bitcoin, wait for it to drop down, and then buy. Now that drop down could happen quick because people are snapping this stuff up. And when I say people, I mean people in businesses are snapping it up. They're not going to let it go down too far. That's the reason why I don't think it'll break at 40,000. But I think it's going to come down to that lower 40s again. And then it'll work its magic once this comes back down. This has got to come back down. It can't stay up here in perpetuity and continue up there. It's got to fluctuate. And we'll have to see. Now, when we start to get into the end of the year, when there's a massive rain, this thing is going to just go berserk, and this line will exceed everybody's possible dreamt of expectations. But so look for based on the 4 hour, we're looking at we're down here, we're ready for we've been running these negatives and still going up. As soon as this flips over, starts heading upwards, this is going to move fast to the upward position. I think we could probably hit anywhere from 52 to 55 when it goes up, and then we're going to see a fall possibly starting as soon as next week, down to retrace, and that's normal. And then it'll turn around, and then it's going to keep climbing. We will see $100,000 Bitcoin, and quite frankly, we're going to see a lot more than that. I have a feeling, with all these companies getting involved. But the thing is the price gets higher and higher. You need more multiples of money to get it to the next level. People that were buying it at $25,000 got twice as much as the guy who's buying it at $50 now. So to get that same Bitcoin, they have to spend more money to do that. And those institutions, those companies have big pockets and can work with big numbers. But it does take more of it. It's like the speed of light. The faster you get to the speed of light, the more energy you need to move you faster, and to a point where there's not enough energy in the universe to be able to get you to the speed, to get matter to the speed of light. So it's kind of that same type of thing. But we're still in the beginning, and congratulations to anybody that has Bitcoin and has been holding on to it. Now let's take a look at Electroneum. Electroneum last week, late last week, had a nice run. We were up, basically 150%. If you held on to it from this bottom up to its peak. At the bottom you were looking at 11 sats. I know guys who got it at 10 sats. And it went all the way up to 37, so you're looking at 3.5x. You put down $1,000, it was worth $3,500 in 2 days. But what goes up must come down, And so the goal here, if you take a look, I charted the Bollinger Bands have tightened up. It's stabilizing. If you take a look, my indicators have turned red. Once it hit that top marker, and once it crossed over this moving average here, that kind of told me to keep a really close eye on it. I had some hope as it followed the moving average. Once it broke through and it was clear, I knew we were going into a negative trend temporarily. And you can see my indicator turned red way up here. This gave me an alert that this was going to happen, and kind of figured that it would. All right, and we've been in this negative, solidly in this negative. People are taking profits and moving out. Now the moving averages are coming down. I'm expecting the moving average to go into the negative area before we get a golden cross and it turns around again and we start to move. But Electroneum is extremely difficult to chart. It somebody with some money can really move the environment dramatically. It's worth $212 million, $250 million. It's, there are people out there that can spend that much money with the money in their pocket. It exists, and they can alter the future of this. And quite frankly, if and when we get onto a U.S. exchange, hopefully some of the big daddies here, because all the U.S. exchanges here are big daddies, the future of Electroneum could change dramatically. So let's keep our fingers crossed. What I'm looking for is for Electroneum to stay in that that 20 sat range. And this is all dependent on the price of Bitcoin. What I'm looking for Electroneum to stay at is that 1 cent. I want to see us capture that 100% gain. I want to see us keep that as the new benchmark until we get another leg up, which could be happening. I think we're going to see more down here. I think 4 hours. I think we're looking at a few more days of downward selling pressure, taking this down a little bit more. I'm hoping we hit that 1 and we start to go sideways, and we wait for the next event to be able to bring us to the next level. That's my personal opinion on the matter. That's what I see in the charts. And we look at the daily. You can see even at the daily we're in the negative, but the daily has a brighter future. It's showing me that we're still way above the moving average, and that we have the opportunity to continue an upward climb. All right, it's still significantly over the moving average, and it clearly has turned green, and it gives us an opportunity to continue this path. And using a daily is a good tracking methodology. The 4 hour and the daily will kind of give you some long-term the prognosis of where the coin's going. The 1 hour kind of shows you where it is now and what's happening, today, tomorrow, that type of thing. And this is showing me today, tomorrow. We're still going to be, it seems to be hitting this and closing at this support line right here, which is 25 sats. And until it breaks that, I'm gonna say, hey, that's a good sign. But in my gut, I'm thinking it will break it. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna turn it over to the chat. I'm gonna answer your questions that you guys may have, and you'll be able to tell me what you're thinking. And if you have a better read on this than I'd like to hear it. And you can tell me that in the chat. But that's my excitement and my thoughts on everything. Bitcoin's going to definitely continue to bounce in the immediate future. Look for, if it's going to drop, it's going to happen the week after, or next week. And and we could see a $10,000 retracement with that. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It has potential for that. Right now it looks pretty solid going up, but Bitcoin's Bitcoin. It does whatever it wants, and it's craziness. So when you think it's at its top, it just keeps going. When it's mathematically, you're looking at it on the screen, this thing should be coming down, and it's still climbing. It amazes me. It's always fun to keep an eye on Bitcoin and watch what it's doing. And, you try to chart it and say, all right, this should happen, and it doesn't. You're like, son of a gun. But you never know. All right, let's take a look here. Let's see here. Crypto Dog. ETN price 50,000 is the new 10,000. We'll all be bouncing around for a while. Yeah, I think we will. I think we're going to see a little bit up and down. I think Electroneum. I was watching Cryptos Are Us, George. I don't know if any of you guys watch George from Cryptos Are Us. I kind of like him. He's an older gentleman. He's kind of cool, calm, and collected, and he tells it how he feels. It kind of reminds me of me and my show. And instead of the guys who are fast talking, they sound like they're on, they took a spoonful of Coke before they did the show. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I like to digest the stuff as it's going along. But the fact of the matter is that I've listened to George for 2 years, and he has never said anything nice about Electroneum. He just and I know he's never looked into it because he would, and I'm not interested. That's for games or what have you, and it was yesterday or the day before. He was bringing up some of the coins, and he goes, "Yeah, this Electroneum." He goes, I never liked Electroneum and everything." He goes, "But I took the time to actually research it the other day and look into it." And he goes, "I was they have a lot going on, and there's a lot to Electroneum, and I think they're going to do really well, and I like Electroneum." He goes, I was like, holy shit. Wait, something wrong with my computer? I thought I was watching the wrong show. So, I left it at that. But what are you gonna do? But it's good to see that if you spend the time, and I tell folks this constantly, if you look into what Electroneum does, you're gonna want to get a hold of some, because you know it's gonna be of a benefit to you in some way, fashion, shape, or form. All right. Better Days is saying Electroneum is aligning with the Cardano chain. Hoskins momentarily mentioned Electroneum wallet. Yeah, he had mentioned it. I saw the little blurb. It was more of just a reference point to the functionality, features, and of how the Electroneum wallet works, and that he admired it and was using that, some of the ideas that, or the performance of it, in his thought patterns. So yeah, that's good. And you're getting the words out there. The people that bought at a half a cent, like I'm telling you now, there's going to be a time where people are going to come to you and they're going to go, "You're lucky, you bought Electroneum at a half a cent," and we're going to be like, "You didn't feel that lucky at the time." You had to have a grip of steel to not let go of it, because I know so many people that they panicked and they got rid of it. But you hold on to it and you have fortitude and you believe in the project, you're going to hold on to it, and people are going to be like, "You're so lucky."
You're so lucky you bought Electroneum at a half a cent.
It makes me laugh. Let's see what else here. NFTs coming, sure no. Just passing a comment. Let me see here. Yep. No, I appreciate you dropping that out there. I did see that Spark Better Days. Appreciate you dropping it out. Yeah, it's like buying Cardano at 3 cents. And it makes me crazy because it was just like last year you could have got it for a steal, right? And the shit's like, what, 80 cents or something? It's way up there. But yes, buying Electroneum at half a penny is a blessing. One time when this thing starts rocking and rolling. All right. Binance wants money for a list. Mehmet says, I think it's worse than that. Let's see here. I know that you're. I don't see it. I'm gonna have to go back one. All right. So, having said Binance wants money for a list. I'm sure that they said that they would list coins that meet their criteria. Here's the problem: Electroneum, they want to put you on there. The Binance goes, you got to move your token to the Binance chain. All right, they try to muscle you. They give you the Indian burn, Hey, Tony, we got a deal for you, You want to be listed? You get yourself on my chain. You rub my back, I rub your back. Everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what they're doing, and if you tell them to go screw themselves, I'm not putting I can't. No, and B, I'm not interested in putting my project on the Binance chain. You kiss my ass, and then of course they tell you well, there's the door. And don't let it hit you in the backside on the way out, and they get all pouty about it. All right, there's no other way to explain it. All right, so if you don't play ball with them, you don't give them coins up front, you don't put your project on their quote Binance chain, they ignore you. So I think that's kind of where that is. I think it's a bad business if that's all they're doing. But you know what it is, business is about money and how to make a profit. And I guess they have the right to do it as long as they're not breaking any laws. Doesn't mean that they have to be a good or ethical company. Look at Google, Facebook, YouTube, and all those other tech companies that have turned into freaking evil son of a bitches. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Hey, Andy's out there. Andy Pingar. Hi, Dino from Surfers Paradise, Australia. Yeah, it's good to see you there, Andy. Appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. And of course, Logan's always been a great addition. Now, Logan wrote the theme song for the Digitspin show. All right. Still, Phoenix says he's still accumulating ETN. Yeah, I made my first trade the other day. Not my first trade. My first intent to buy and sell, and to see what it could do for me. Not that I'm going to be a trader or anything. I kind of hold on to it, but figured, all right, I see this happening. Let's take a look at this, and. I don't know. I might make a few Electroneum from it, but it was more of an experiment. See if I am as smart as I think I am, as far as reading the charts. The rare grind beats. Did you get any Polka markets or Berry Finance? No, I didn't get that. I did get Polka Dot. I didn't get any Polka Starter or any of the other subcategories or sub projects for Polka, but I did get it when it first landed on Binance for $2.25. I got myself a bag of that, and the truth be known is that I logged on to Binance like a week and a half ago. I'm a little put out about this, but I logged on to Binance. And they said, "Oh, you're not allowed to use our site. So you have 5 days to get your shit off our site and piss off." So I was like, "Oh crap!" So I had to move what limited money I had on it off, and One of the things I had was my Polkadot, and I have so many things going on. I wanted to set up a wallet and transfer it out, and I said, screw it, I just liquidated it. And then the shit went up. I mean, it doubled the price. I mean, I was up 6x or whatever on it, and it went up 12x, right after that. And so I was like, son of a gun. But I just didn't have the time. And I kind of do crypto as a hobby. And it's not like I have a lot of money in it. But the fact of the matter is I got a career, a business I got to try to keep running. And I like I do this show. It's not like I'm making money from YouTube doing this. If I make $15 for the month, I struck it rich. I can get a box of chicken from Kentucky Fried or Popeyes. Popeyes is good. Hey Paul, how's it going? Good to see you out there. Crypto Dog goes, are you still bullish on Electroneum? And yes, I am still very bullish on Electroneum. I am very hopeful for this project. I still see significant potential in it, and I believe in my heart that Electroneum has a lot of fireworks still up their sleeve. Going into the future. So yeah, I still believe in it. Does it mean that it's going to give me the gains that if I 6 months ago sold all my Electroneum, put it into Bitcoin, I would have a hell of a lot more money right now. Okay, but that's all right. I could have bought a car or what have you. With that money, but I put it in Electroneum. I'm going to let it sit there. And I'm gonna wait for it to do its thing, and if it doesn't, we're already up. The price already doubled, so I'm happy with that. And I think that there's a potential for Electroneum to do some wonderful things for people going into the future. And those that have a reasonable amount of it will see a benefit. That's just my personal gut feeling. But as with all coins, there is a cycle to it. We go through the bull run. We're going to see it go up, and then the prices are going to come back down. All the coins do it. There's no escaping it. It's just part of it. But quite frankly, with what Electroneum's trying to do, just to get into the U.S. markets and stuff, it's like a new coin almost, because it hasn't been able to really attach itself to the U.S. market yet properly. So we'll see how that turns out. You're an artist, make your own NFTs. Yeah, I've thought of it. I'm working on some creatures for Splinterlands. We got the prototypes going. I'm falling behind because this is like my busy season, and I have a lot of customers calling up, more than I expected, to place orders. And of course I don't have the staff in place because we've been running on a limited staff. So it's been a significant challenge for me. And my time has been limited, and of course you guys can tell that I don't get on as often as I'd like to. I wish I could do more shows. I'd love to be able to do my daily show again and all that other stuff. This is not possible at the moment, but I have a lot of ideas. I just wish I could move on them. When the right time comes, I will. But thanks for that there, Better Days. And so we're all good. So I went through everything. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's healthy for you, especially if you follow Electroneum. You're going to get all the best and newest and up-to-date information right here on Digitspin Crypto. And I'll look for you guys next time. I appreciate you stopping by. Take care.